Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I don't know how you got here, but I do hope that you'll stay until the end of this video because in this particular video, we are going to work on a condominium studio unit that is here in the Philippines that I have been commissioned for. And today, so actually the last time I talked about this, I mentioned that I was done. It's over. It's completed. But today is a new day. So in essence, yes, it's I've completed this project already, but my client has asked that I um, provide a different design, and I don't have a problem with that as long as, because on our original agreement, so this is kind of how I do my setup with my projects. I offer two offers, basically, two prices. The first price is I'll just give them the basic needs. And with the basic needs, that's everything that you've seen me give them right now. The plan, the elevation sections, 3D renders, 3D visualization, drawings of carpentry works. Yeah, so that's just basic, and it's not really detailed, specified that well. It's specified enough that the contractor should be able to figure it out. And yeah, that's one offer that I provide where it's just extremely basic. And if the contractor can't do it, then I would advise that they just hire a different contractor because I don't see how they would not be able to understand any of those drawings. And if like anyone anyone in like the construction business should be able to have some sort of idea of the drawings that I provided. But anyway, it happens though. Believe it or not, it does happen. um, anyway, as I was saying, so yeah, that's the one offer I give them. Another offer I provide is one where it's more complete. The works are more complete, meaning to say that like they don't really have to worry about that much because I've already done it all. Why is this not working? What's going on here? Okay, I got it now. It's all complete, right? And in that offer, they don't normally go for that offer because it's expensive. I'll admit it's expensive, but the reason it's so expensive is because you have to understand I'm doing a job for you guys, or if you're my client, I'm doing a job, you know? And in that sense, I have to be able to survive off of what you pay me. And if you can't pay me what I need to survive for a certain project, the way I deem it necessary to be charged, like the amount of man hours it would take from me, the amount of materials, equipment, the amount of all that stuff, the amount of work it would take. If you can't provide that payment, then you know, then you should understand that, it's I can't do it because I'm gonna die. I'm gonna die working on a project for you. And I don't want to die working on a project for you, you know. I just want to die like most people, happy. Even though that seems like a long shot. Oh my gosh, let's stop talking about such morbid topics. In any case, yeah, I need to survive off of the work I do. And if I can't, if I'm going to provide a certain level of work, then you have to provide a certain level of pay. And so that's why I typically offer, like this right here. This is like super duper discounted, but at the same time, you get the value for your money. Um, but in rare instances, or actually in most instances, people do ask for revisions, and it's kind of a hard topic to bring up because I have to say that revisions aren't free, man. Unless you go for that option where it's like I'm going to survive off of the payment. I can't really give, excuse me, I can't really give free revisions, you know. I'd love to, but I can't. So in this case, they did ask me for a revision, and it's kind of a difficult topic most of the time. I really have to ask for payment because you have to understand. For me to go back to this project that I know is already done, would mean that I'd still have to give up some time of my life. And if I do it for free, then, you know, I'll just be stressing myself out for nothing. I mean, it's not a bad thing, but, if you're an architect and you're really stressing out about things, you should really ask for proper compensation. And, the client shouldn't hold it against you if you're going to ask for a certain compensation because you're going to end up starving yourself. And the reason I know this is because I've taken on projects where the client just refused to, like, you know, they think that everything is for free, and it's not easy to do any of these things. If they think they can do it themselves, then they can do it themselves. Let them do it themselves. But in any case, I just want to point that out. Like, if you're going to ask for additional work, if you're a client asking your architect for additional work, and you had this agreement where it's just going to be this much, this much, this much, you shouldn't be offended. Like, who the hell do you think you are? I know it's tough love, but that's the truth. It's like, come on now, don't do that. That's not cool. Um, In any case, fortunately, I do have some clients that are, they understand. But I'm gonna tell you right now, if you're an architect, there's a lot of clients that simply don't understand, and it's hard sometimes. But we just have to find ways to adapt. In any case, so I had finished this project, and the client, they kind of asked for some changes. Not a big deal. I don't really mind. Um, but with that said, I did need to ask for additional payment because, like I mentioned earlier, I need to survive. I'm not gonna survive off of the kindness of, the kindness of my heart. As much as, if I could survive from kindness of my heart, then, I just keep being nice. But yeah. In this case, they asked for some revisions. Well, it's not really revisions. They asked for like an alternative design, and okay, so they agreed to the extra pay. So why not? No problem. At times, though, as I mentioned before, I do have like a regular job, so I don't. Sometimes I might not really accept to do more work than I was already when that was already agreed to, because it's stressful, You you have you have to do you have to do what you have to do to stay alive. Oh, fudge, where'd I go? Where is my mouse at? There you are. hmm So the revision they asked for is not really that big, but at the same time, it's not really easy to just do revisions all the time. Especially, like I said, I've already finished this, so the revisions that I'm going to provide are just going to be what we can do for the project. And Hopefully, I'm pretty sure they'd understand that as well. I'm actually just gonna provide because like I mentioned before, the clients usually have a budget, so I try to work around their budget. But like I said, I also have to work around my needs as a person, a living person. So don't ever take yourself for granted, basically, is what I'm trying to say. Um, okay, so I have to figure out how to do this in such a way that it won't affect the other cabinetry and stuff. And hopefully this is the best solution I can think of. Um, hmm, let's see. I think that's gonna be fine. So we'll make that into a group. There. So let's see here. Let's move the walls back and go back to scene one. See how that looks. So the problem was that the client has expressed that they think construction for the ceiling is a bit out of their budget. So I kind of offered this idea that is a bit cheaper, but still pricey. The thing about uh, the thing about it is, if you're going to invest in your house, you have to understand that you're really gonna have to invest in your house. If you don't, you know, if you want it to look good, if you don't really care, you know, doesn't really matter to hire like to do these kind of things. You can just buy stuff from IKEA and stuff. But yeah, let's see what we can do here. Okay. The, I'm also not really going to provide working drawings for this. I'm gonna leave it to the contractor to figure out how to do it because um, I know it sounds horrible to say, but it's just not, it's too much work for me to do and not get paid, to be honest. That's like the honest truth. Um, as you know, as bad as it might make me look or feel or sound, um, I can't really change that fact that like, yeah, I like designing things, but I literally can't, I can't survive off of just designing things. I need to get paid as well. Okay. So anyway, let's go back to scene one here. Oh shoot. So I forgot to turn off this thing. You know what? Let me turn it off first. It's causing my laptop to lag. Mm, this will take one moment, guys. I'm very sorry. I just have to turn this off because. Okay, where is it? Off. There we go. Just for now. Okay, there. And now it's not lagging. Anyway, I was really hoping to work on like a different something else too. That's why. I was hoping to work on some new educational material, but here we are. So I know my channel is not at this moment isn't really isn't really much. I mostly do these vlogs of me working on this project, and that's just to show that like because I'd rather like take time to educate about the different kind of materials and stuff, but I have to I have to do my job also. So um, it's stressful, not gonna lie. Like I feel bad about it too, because like I know I see the comments, okay? I see the comments, and I really want to like provide answers to the questions and stuff, but or provide some like details or instructions or something, anything, you know. But like I said, also I have to survive. And as much as I want to provide like um, more tutorials and stuff like that on how to do things, I have to finish my work. Otherwise, I'll end up homeless. And I don't know. I'm not. I don't really make anything from any of this at the moment. And especially like the way that I do my projects. Most of the projects I have, I'm usually very nice. People think I'm kind of a jerk, to be honest. If you meet me in real life, people think I'm kind of kind of a jerk, or maybe really a jerk. But they don't understand, you know, like I do these things. I do these projects for kind of low prices actually, and against my better judgment too. And a lot of times, people are just they really like to take advantage of you. I mean, I already know when people are taking advantage of me, uh, but I'm also too kind, I guess. I don't know. I don't know how to word it, man. Let me see here. The idea is like they want more out of me, even though, like, I already can sense, like, okay, you're trying to get more. A lot of the times, I'll do it to a certain extent. That way, they'll see, like, when they get somebody else, okay, this is what I'm offering, this is what I can provide. I'll give, I don't say it to their face though, like, I try to be reasonable, but a lot of times people tend to just think about themselves, and it's kind of a sad thing to live, or kind of sad to see. Um, but it's okay, you know. They can it's their lives. As long I'd rather not drag myself to their level. That's why a lot of the times when I'm like when I finish the video, like I just don't like the people to become like that. You know, if we're going to keep thinking that we have to be ahead of everybody, like it's like such a horrible mindset. Because then, is it really worth being ahead of everybody if, you're like a horrible person? I don't know. That's up to you to decide, to be honest. I mean, I'm sure because I see a lot of people like that and they still have friends. So I guess I don't know. You'll still get by, but I see them also and they seem so miserable. Like they're happy that they stole your money and stuff or they stole work from you. But at the same time, they look so miserable. And I don't know. Maybe it's because they know they're stuck there. They don't want to do anything to change it. I don't know. And they're so toxic. I don't know. I really don't know. I'm not a psychologist or anything. All I know is what makes me at peace. And uh, I'm more at peace when I don't have to deal with toxic people. The idea that like I mean there are some issues like some people know do how to deal with that kind of situation or deal with different kind of people. And I don't think it's like the same situation because you have to also think about it in the sense that like in the sense of the like how do I say this? The sense of the position. Like just because somebody else has better luck at something than you do doesn't mean you should compare yourself to them because you don't know the difference. You don't know the situation on how they did it compared to this situation how you did it. And also, it's not really gonna get like if I'm gonna compare myself to somebody, then it would have to be somebody in the same situation, you know. For example, I had to pay for my studies. So I'm not going to compare myself to somebody that didn't have to pay for their studies, because their life was is obviously going to be significantly easier than mine's to begin with. It's up to them to capitalize on it. You know what I mean? But if I see somebody, because when you compare somebody, like when you look at somebody, you shouldn't look at somebody with like envy or something. When you're going to look at other people's like success, you should like look at it as you should look for people that are more inspiring. And you can't be inspired by people that just, make you feel disgusting inside. I don't know. I don't know if I'm getting my point across correctly, but I hope you understand what I'm trying to say. Some people, I don't understand it to be honest. Like they'd rather be horrible people, or liars or what have you. I don't know. It's their lives. It's not mine. So I'm just saying, you don't have to follow what I have to say, but this is just my opinion on the matter. I'm not really having a bad day or anything. It was just a thought that I was thinking about because when I was when the client asked me to do a few revisions, um, I usually get a bit tense about revisions. Not because I don't like doing them, but because this the situation of how people are, like they'd rather not pay for additional work. And I remember I worked for this firm before, and they were like, "Oh, we don't charge for revisions, blah 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 blah." And, that's cool. But the problem was I was doing all the revisions, me, and I didn't get any credit for anything. So it's like, of course you don't charge for it. I mean, you charge for it if you were doing the work, but you're not doing the work. I'm doing the work. That's another thing. If you're gonna hire people and then you're gonna talk badly about other people, like I remember a while back, I was discussing with some former friends or former acquaintances, whatever you want to call them. Um, they're like saying, "Oh, I don't want to work for another guy. I don't want to work for another person because I'm just working to make them richer." But then, they have that mindset that they want people to work for them to be richer. It's like you're not helping society. What are you talking about? Just shut up. I really hate that mindset, like, oh, you shouldn't have to work for other people. You should just work for yourself, blah, 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 blah. Like, you're not making the world a better place. Like, you look at this idea like, okay, if I work for this person, I'm only making this person richer. But if I have these people work for me, they're gonna make me richer. And it's like, so you're such a hypocrite then. What are you talking about? Can you just I don't know. That stresses me out. Like hypocrite, man. I swear. And I hate it so much. When I have when I have people working for me, I actually pay them like probably 75% of what I make. Or if I divide like the work, like the ratio of the amount, because of course, like for me, I have more stress on my hands because I have to make sure the projects flow smoothly. But at the same time, I don't make it to a point like that I'm just giving them minimum wage. I try to give them a bit more than that. And also like if people help me get projects, I even offer them commission because it's like I'm really thankful like people are referring me to others that need an architect or something like, "Oh, yeah, sure. Um, this is just like for my gratitude and for you in helping me." It doesn't really happen that often either, which is crazy. Most of the time they'll offer it to their friends and it's interesting when I see it happen because so most of the time on that for most of the time their friends get offered the project because like for me like it's interesting when you're an architect you find out everybody's an architect. It's weird. Like, oh, you're an architect too, that's crazy. Or some everybody knows an architect. So usually they go for that person and then stuff happens, I guess. I don't know how to describe it, but it's their thing. Anyway, for me, it's like I I I like to offer commission because it's just my small way of showing gratitude for like helping me out. And like you see these other people like they literally disappear after like if the project is going wrong and they just disappear. It's like, okay, what the hell happened? I don't know. I meet such a strange array of people. Even with like the offers that I make, I hear different like stories about architects. It's one thing like too when an architect after like I don't know how to describe it, but I'm just gonna say that they don't really get the experience they need, but somehow they're there. They have the position. And I hear other stories, probably all hearsay. I don't really know. I don't know the whole story, but I know enough to kind of say like that's not right. Eh, it's the thing. It's just like pretty much what I've been trying to say the whole time. Everyone is always trying to look out for themselves, and in the end, the world just becomes a worse place because of it. But anyway, let's see. Let's continue working on this here. So this now is this is a bit difficult. So last week, actually, I was thinking about ideas on how to provide a new design. The client did express like what they wanted, and I kind of this is kind of what's going to happen. And I don't really agree with it. Also, I need to make it, I have to design it in a way that it's not going to compromise what I've already designed. Not to say that I'm not trying to say like I want to stick to just my design. Like if the client wants something different, then that's fine. But what I'm trying to say is if I have to redesign all of these cabinets, just like if I have to fix all the heights and stuff like that, then I have to charge the client again because that's a lot of work. It's like it's almost like starting from scratch, which is why a lot of the times I'd prefer that um, the client be more vocal during the design phase when I was still doing like the sketches and stuff. That way we can avoid this kind of situation. But for whatever reason, it's not a big deal. Um, we came to this point where they didn't they weren't really quite sure what I had designed. So since we were in a rush to finish everything, and also because of my laptop breaking down, um, we kind of had to figure things out a bit uh, quickly. So we weren't able to decide that much on different ideas. And it's not really a fault of anybody. Um, it's not my fault. It's not their fault. It's just a matter of like unlucky circumstances. And because of that, sorry, wait. Um, Let me see here. 35. Because of that, the design kind of gets hit a lot. What do I mean by that? 25. It should be 25. Because for example, I had a project maybe a year ago where instead of like working on the final product all the time, like I was always being forced to work on the final product, and the client wasn't even sure that's what they wanted. And at the end of the day, they're just kind of like blaming me for everything, and it's like, and what's worse is they didn't want to pay. So this is like one of those situations where what I was talking about earlier, where they just expected me to keep doing more and more revisions, but we already agreed that this is what I'm going to work on, this is what I'm going to finish. And the funny thing was, they were always complete. I always notified them and told them like, this is going to be the situation. Are you okay with this? And they kept saying yes. So I was under the impression that like, okay. But at the end of the day, it was just becoming too toxic. And I also hate that feeling like, like they kept making it a point to be like, we have to pay you again. It's like, yeah, you have to pay me again. That's part of the agreement. Because it seems like they were like trying to say that I was ripping them off. And it's like, are you serious right now? I'm giving you more than 50% off. Like literally more than 50%. And right now, I don't even think you deserve that. So instead of like just being completely toxic, like I said, I still finish what I have to finish. So I finished enough to just like say, okay, after this is it. So at least I didn't like just disappear. I didn't ghost them. I told them they could contact me if they're still willing to pay, if they're willing to like pay me properly. But if they get somebody else to start working on it, then that's them now. It's not me. So like other people, I guess other people would say like you just have to know how to you just have to know how to handle that kind of situation. And for me, it's like, nah. Why do we always have to pressure ourselves into that situation? Why do you want to pressure yourself to do that? You don't have to. You don't have to. You don't have to be like, it's my obligation to make this person happy. It's because it's not, you know. So don't let people make you feel that way. Let me see here. How much space did I put here? 5. So right now we're just gonna try to kind of make this frame. Okay. Oh my gosh. Sorry, I'm trying to like explain what I'm thinking at the same time, trying to figure out how I'm going to do this. Um, Another thing is like you have to understand too that clients, for me, I understand clearly that clients they don't really get it sometimes. Like you're explaining it to them and they just don't have the same level of training as you do. So you just have to be patient. It's cool, whatever. Uh, and you're just kind of like, okay, it's not that I'm angry about anything, but I'm just trying to explain it in a way that they'd understand. Um, because this happens a lot too. Like I keep forgetting sometimes. Like sometimes clients don't know how to read floor plans. Okay, understandable. Or sometimes clients can't imagine something in 3D like I can. Okay, understandable. But you have to just kind of do your best to present it. That's why, for me, architecture isn't eh, knowing how to use like software and stuff doesn't make you a good architect. A good architect can, just knows how to present what they're talking about through any medium that they need to use. I mean, if you're good with words and you can describe anything with words in such a way that your clients can understand, then that's cool. Like you can just hire a CAD operator because architecture is not really about designing in CAD or something or using SketchUp or using Revit. That's not what being an architect is about. An architect makes the plan, so that everything works. I think that's like the thing that most people misconstrue about architecture. Like that's why usually, if you think about it, the first major architect was Excuse me, excuse me again. Imhotep from Egypt. What made him the first architecture or architect architecture? He had a plan. He had a plan. He had this idea in his head like this is what we're going to design. And then he's the one that kind of like leads the way on how they're going to approach the whole thing. And that, ladies and gentlemen, and others, is what makes an architect. One moment. I think that's fine. Yeah, an architect is someone that has a vision and is able to push that vision into reality. So it's not just about designing, it's not just about inputting in CAD and stuff like that. The thing about it is though, the more skills you have, the more useful you should be. But I've never found that to be true. Like, for example, people say you should work hard to have a good future. I've been working hard for all my life. And I can guarantee anybody right now, if they saw my bank account at this moment right now, they just be like, "What the hell? How do you survive? Are you okay, buddy? Do you need help?" I'm pretty sure. Like, if you saw my bank account right now, if you had my bank account right now, you'd probably cry every night. Just be like, wow, I didn't know people could live like that. But I do my best to get by. I mean, that's really all that I can do. Yeah. Um, and like I said, for me, I don't know why we have to have this idea that, we have to make more money than the other person. Like, why? Why do you need more money? What do you need it for? Can you imagine? Can you just imagine, like, somebody that stole $50 billion or something. I don't know. And I'm not trying to say anything, but I'm just saying, like, can you imagine it? Like, what are you gonna do with that exactly? Why do you need it? It doesn't make sense. Like, really? What are you trying to buy? What are you trying to prove in your life? Like, do you want to buy an island that you can live on by yourself? Like, why? I don't know. I don't know if you get what I'm trying to say here, but I see people all the time. They're just, they're so like proud of how much more they make than other people. It's like, if you make so much, why don't you share it? Like me, when I have extra money, I literally like, oh, let's have some. Let me treat these people. Let's go have some ice cream or something. I don't know. That's just, I don't know. I always thought that's the way people should be. But like, man, and like to define success is like, how do you define success, really? Are you successful when you're better than everybody else? Like, okay, is that really success? I don't know. I have no idea. I don't really know what to say. Mm, let me see how this looks first. For me, I'm actually just fine with like, I don't need everything. I just need to survive. Like if I can play video games and stuff like that. Like literally things that make me happy, video games. If I can play video games all day, like I'm just chill, man. That is life. Have video games. You know what would make me happy? If I could just eat a lot and not get fat. Or if I could just always have energy. Those kind of things would make me happy. Can can being a millionaire really do all that for me? I don't think so. I don't even think being a billionaire could do that for me. Like, so like I said, in my bank account, I barely have anything there. You'd just be like you just be, you just want to you don't know how what you're gonna do the next day with my bank account. But the fact that, I can do stuff like exercise, play video games, I can eat, I don't really have much to complain about. I don't know. I don't have a car. Other people have a car. That's cool. Um, but like, it's cool though. When I had a car, I always gave people rides. It's like these days people are not as chill. I mean, I get rides like every now and then, offered rides, which is nice. But yeah, I don't know. I don't really need all of that. Like, I don't need all that stress. So I don't have a car. Big deal. Don't have a house. Big deal. You know, I do work, at least hopefully if when I retire, I can have a house. That way I don't really have to worry about anything like paying rent and stuff. But um I'm not at that point where I think that it's hopeless. As long as I keep doing what I'm doing, working hard or keep working, like who cares if I'm making another person rich? I'm making money also. I think that's the problem though. Like you shouldn't have that mindset like I don't want to make other people rich. Maybe it's time you should have that mindset like maybe you should have that mindset like I should help make other people happy or not happy. I should be like part of the solution, basically. What do I mean by that? What I mean to say is the only way to be part of the solution is if, you know, you're going to be the kind of boss that, you know, helps your employees. Sorry, I'm like my mind is just trying to figure out what I'm trying to say at the same time, finish this project. What I mean to say is, okay, that guy is like being a shit employer. His employees are all poor, but they work hard for him, stuff like that, blah 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 blah. You know, instead of pointing that out, maybe you should point out, maybe you should like call out the employer. Why do we always call out the employee? Why are we always saying like, look at you, you're such a loser, you're an employee. Why don't we call out the boss, you know? Why don't we say like, dude, you're a jerk. Why don't you pay them enough? That's what we should be doing. We shouldn't be like saying you should start your own business. No. Why? So he can be the one making people miserable? No. If you're gonna say start your own business, you should start your own business and pay your employees properly. That's how it should be. Or we should be like, we should stop this whole, I don't know, who's with me? We should stop this whole idea that we should stop shaming people for having a decent job or a steady job. We should start shaming the bosses that don't want to pay their employees. That's what I'm trying to say. Anyway, I don't know what I'm thinking. I don't know what I'm saying. Just going on random splurts here. It's been a long couple weeks, guys. Um, you know what? If I do manage to finish this project and make some time, I'd really like to work on some more other stuff, you know, like more educational stuff. But in the meantime, please bear with me. Let's see here. So what I proposed are these like trellises. 25, 25x ceiling trellis. Okay. Yeah, ceiling trellis. There it is. Um, why did I propose this, you're asking? Well, it's not exactly much cheaper, to be honest. I don't think it's cheaper. It looks nicer though. Um, the client wanted something a bit different, and yeah, I'm not quite sure, but I'm pretty sure this wouldn't be any cheaper, but it will be less intrusive. Let's see what we can do first. One moment. 150. Hmm, that's not good. Okay, guys, help me with some math. 240 minus 150, 90. Good job. So we're going to delete this one. Move this by 45. 195. 195. All right. Okay. So like I said, I don't really think this is much cheaper. Um, I'm not really sure what the client was going for, if they wanted to have more of a budget here, or they just didn't like the idea of the enclosed ceiling, or if they wanted something a little less intrusive. But I offered this idea, and hopefully it's something more to their liking. Although, yeah, I really don't. think it's much cheaper. But it does look cool, doesn't it? The thing about this though is, so the lights will have to hang from the ceiling. Hmm 55. Mm, am I gonna drop it more? What do you guys think? Let's get rid of one more on each side. Okay. I guess we'll drop it by. I don't want to drop it too much. Cause let's see here. It's already level to this thing. Hmm. Guess that'll do fine. Okay, let's see here. I can't really think of a better way to put this. So typically when you have this, what we're gonna do is gonna make one more here. Ba-bam. 1 inch. Ba-bam. Make that into a group. Ba-bam. Lower it to below here, right? And then extend this one by, let's say, 75. That's about 3 inches. So the reason I removed the extra one here on the end is because when you open this one here, it's 310. So it's going to hit this. It's still going to hit this though. So let's get rid of that 3 inches. Let's just get rid of one more on each end. You have to make sure that it doesn't hit this cabinet door when they lift it up. 320. So this is 320, right? And this is 310. Perfect. Okay. All right. So this is why I really enjoy SketchUp more, because when you have things like Revit, you don't really pay attention to the details of other things that you've already designed. So like in this instance, I had to make sure that this won't hit these cabinet doors. And then we also have to take into consideration this right here. So this one bumps into this one. How far is it? 310. So the space from there to here is 470. The depth of this is only 400. Okay, so that's another thing I have to consider. My gosh. All right, let's just move it back again. And right here, so it has to be more further down. Okay, get rid of 2 again. So my point about the Revit was that a lot of the time when you work with software that already like automatically does everything for you, sometimes it doesn't really pay attention to like little things. So blah 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 blah. Sorry. Uh, 100. No, no, no. Something like that. Hmm. So with that, sorry. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Or maybe not 5. Oh man, this is difficult. One moment. I'm still buffering. Give me a second. Um, hmm. Just make this 5. Delete that. Okay, this one goes to the ceiling. Okay, make that into a group and move it. Okay, so that's going to be the major support for that. Make a group. So these are actually going to be like either full thread rods or wires anchored to the ceiling. Basically, contractor's choice. Okay, so we got it something like that. Make that into a group. Blah, blah, blah. Let's see how it looks now. Oops, shoot. 1. Can't really see it here. See, this is the difficulty with these kind of things. Oh wait, does this hit it? Um, so it doesn't hit this one, but it does hit the movable closet. That's why I can't really make it any bigger than this. I'm gonna have to come up with a different viewpoint here. What's this? Shoot. Um, Step back. Use the eye. Blah 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 blah. Something like this. Okay. We'll make this into scene 4. Hmm. Oh, I mean, this would be scene 5, actually, wouldn't it? Scene 5. Yeah. What is scene 4? Scene 4 is the kitchen. 3, 2, 1. All right, scene 5. Okay, scene 5. Damn it. So I kind of gave the idea that they can have pendant lights here because the uh, what is it? Nordic chandeliers, Scandinavian, Nordic. I'm not quite sure. I don't recall. But that chandelier won't work here. So they can have like pendant lights hanging from here, the kind in the like bottle jar or glass jar. And then here in the room, what I'm going to suggest is, so they didn't want to have the recessed ceiling because it would be too much work. So we're just going to have lighting here at the end. And the way we're going to do that is, so the height of this right now is 130. All right. I need to move this wall. Sorry. Move 10,000. What we're gonna do is, because what we're trying to avoid is having direct light into the room. So we're gonna do this here. What? Till the end. 100. Right here. So this is the only part that's gonna light up. They're gonna have some T5 lights here. Of course, this is gonna be blocked. It's not gonna be all the way up to here. In fact, yeah, let's go ahead and fix it. Okay. What happened? Let me see. Okay. Okay. Lift that up. Bam. Okay. Get rid of this thing. Yeah, just like that. So this will be where the cove light will be. It'll just be flat. Then they'll have a light here. And then we'll just have like an extra light here somewhere. Anyway, this is a lot less work, I suppose. Okay, scene 5, let's go. Bam! So this is the new design. It's a bit more fresher, I suppose. It's more clean to look at. Scene 5. 1, scene 2, scene 3. So that's where the light will come from right there. That's the only light source they'll have. hmm Scene 4. Yeah, scene 5. So it looks very different now, doesn't it? Um, Man, I talked a lot during this video. I'm actually quite sleepy. I did a lot today, a lot of adulting stuff. But anyway, um, I hope you guys enjoyed watching. We're gonna end it here. I should actually that's backwards. Let's take two. We're gonna end it here. I hope you guys enjoyed watching. I know I didn't make sense a lot of the time while I was talking. I had a lot to say. But yeah, I really think, you should know your own worth. Don't let people say like you have to do this work because, you didn't finish it or something. When you actually did finish it, don't let people push you around. And if you're a client, try to be understanding of other people's situation, especially like if you're in a position where you can buy a house and this other person is just like trying their best to survive. I don't know. Show a bit of decency. And also, I don't like the idea that we keep shaming people. Who cares if like let's say you work at a restaurant, like not even a good restaurant. Let's say you work at McDonald's. I like McDonald's, man. And plus, like, there's nothing wrong with that. We need people to work in these kind of positions. Otherwise, I mean, just imagine if everybody was rich. If everybody is special, as the saying goes, if everybody was special, then nobody would be special. So the fact that we all have these different positions in life, we're all in this different area, we all reach something differently. You shouldn't put yourself down because of that, and you shouldn't put other people down because of that. It's only when other people like strive to actually hurt other people, that's when we should stand up and be like, "Yo, get out of here." Or other people are like stealing from the poor, taking advantage of other people. It's only when there are people that are taking, literally harming other people. But if you're not causing any harm to anyone and you're happy with your life, I mean, you could be like a valet driver, you can be a housekeeper. It's okay. What matters is, are you happy with your life right now? Do you want to be more? Then work on it. Try to get more out of life. Are you okay with where you are at life? Do you need more? Are you like making enough just to be happy? Then fine. It's okay. Don't worry about it, guys. Even like if you're, you know, like I know this is an architecture channel, but the fact is when you're an architect, you have to understand what other people do with their lives. Otherwise, how are you going to design for them? So like for this client right here, the reason they don't want shelves, they said that they feel that it wouldn't look aesthetically pleasing because they'll just end up putting a lot of junk on it. Which is kind of like, for me, it's not really that bad to have like a certain area where all your junk is because, it shows that you're human. Not everything has to be perfect. And plus, when you have all of these like storage and stuff like that, the only way that you can possibly not be a mess is if you get rid of everything you own. And you only have like two sets of clothes, or like if all of your clothes were only two sets of like colors or something like that. It's not gonna happen. You know, things will be all over the place. I don't know. I'm not a genius. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. How do you define success? I don't know. I don't. I just know that when I was trying so hard to please everybody else to be successful, because that's how they saw being successful, how being successful was, I was never happy. Now, it's I'm I'm not always happy, but it's not a bad thing because when you're not, how can you know that you're happy if you don't know what being sad is like or being angry is like? It's like a person. It's like a person that never works, and then they're gonna be like, "Thank God it's a holiday tomorrow." It's like you don't work. Anyway, that's just my insights on life. The main phrase of the day is I don't know. And I hope you enjoyed watching. I hope we can always better ourselves. Always take care, and bye bye.